Welcome to My Health Beat. This is the space where we talk about our health experiences, our highs and lows, with an aim of reviving hope because we have enough for both of us. My name is Stephanie Ayeta and this is My Health Beat. Today, I've been joined by an exceptional guest, a very beautiful lady just beside me. And interestingly enough, we have the same hairstyle, or at least, the same style. Mary. Mary has a very, an interesting story. She's a survivor. And she does more than that. She inspires out there. So we want to hear from Mary. How is the journey like? And how did she find strength to where she is now? How did you overcome? Let me give you the chance to introduce yourself.
My name is Mary Chemwor. I'm mother of three, a 2 times cancer survivor. And I reside in Eldoret, Wasingisho County. Mm-hmm. And cancer journey has been long and hard, but it has also taught me a lot through the time that it's been there. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let me ask you, before we get into the, into the whole story of your journey with cancer, what would you say has been your biggest lesson from your experience? Looking back, what have you learned from that experience?
I can say what I've really learned about cancer is learn to live. Live and appreciate what you have. Appreciate the health that you have every day. And always be thankful for those people that are around you, that are always there with you. Mm-hmm. That has been my biggest take.
Wow.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah. They say some things you can't be taught, some things you learn from your own experience. And for you, it was the hard one. Tell us, how did you find out you had cancer? When was that? And how was that like? Take us through that journey.
I was first diagnosed with cervical cancer back in 2015. But that was after I had, been having a lot of symptoms. I would bleed a lot. I would have a lot of abdominal pains. I would visit doctors. Even sometimes I would even go to a gynecologist. I'll just be given medication, and the symptoms will kind of go away. So, but then it got to a point I just felt, it got to a point I could not tell between my menses and this other bleeding. The situation was bad. So sorry.
Let me interject you just for a minute. How different was it from the menses? Was it, a flow, like a week flow, or it just comes once? Just to understand how it is.
It got to a point now, like I was just having a constant flow. Sometimes it will even come in clots.
Okay.
Yes. So you will not even tell, am I in menses or what is happening? Yes. Yeah. So now, I remember I decided to confide in a friend of mine, a nurse. I talked to her, and then she advised me to go see a gynecologist at their clinic. So the doctor saw me. He told me to go do an ultrasound and a pap smear. Back then in Eldoret, there were only 2 places that you could get pap smear.
Okay.
2 places. That was in MTRH and an SOS. So I went, did the ultrasound first. He looked at it. He couldn't see anything. So I went to Y teaching for the pap smear. And I remember the nurse that I found there that did the pap smear for me, I think already she noticed something. So she just told me, come after 2 weeks. She gave me some medication and told me to come after 2 weeks. Then I'll see the gynecologist. So I did that, saw the gynecologist who did the biopsy. So I think after 2 weeks, the biopsy was out, the results were out. And that's when I got the news of having the big C.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was in 2015, August.
2015
Yes,
August.
yes, that's when I got the diagnosis. and it was at stage 1B.
Stage 1.
Yes.
So when you got this, and you know, shocking news for you, you've called it the big C. No one wants to hear the name cancer.
Yeah.
How was it for you? You know, in that instance, what did you think or feel?
That is the worst thing a person can be told, that you have cancer. You know, I think were it not for the doctor, you know, trying to talk me through, you know, and trying to calm me down, but I can tell you I was in shock.
Yeah.
I was in shock. I remember walking from the hospital where teaching to my bus stage. So I went, I took a mat, and then I remember I was sitting behind the driver's seat. That's where I was sitting. And then I was just quiet. You know, things were just, you know, going through my mind a lot. And I didn't realize I was even crying. I was crying.
Oh.
And the conductor, God bless his heart, he noticed me. And he was like, hey, Mama, nini ni mbaya? You know, I could not, the more he asked me, the more I was crying.
Oh.
I remember the conductor, where I lived, I just lived next to the road, where you just drop and then the gate was just there. Yeah. So he made sure I dropped off. He took me up to the gate, opened the gate for me.
Wow.
And then I always say God bless him wherever he is.
Oh, God bless his heart.
Yes, it was a shock. That is not the nice thing to hear.
You had a meltdown. It was a,
yes,
it was a meltdown, really.
That was one of the darkest day for me. Yes.
And on hearing that news, getting that news, what did you think? You know, because for most people, at least, you know, you start regretting or you start blaming, you know, if only they had diagnosed it earlier, or the many times I've been to hospital, sure, why didn't they find it, you know, and all those questions. Did you have that? Yes,
I did. I really questioned that. I was like, all this time I was going to hospital. Why didn't the doctors, why didn't someone like just think, hey, let's check if this is cancer at that early stage? I even questioned God, you know, why me? You know, there was a lot of things. You're looking for someone or people to blame for all this. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yes.
You know, the best thing you can do is accept it. Yes. How did you get to the acceptance and now working to, you know, through the medication and the treatment?
I would say for me, the doctors at the MTRH, they really played a big part in you know, helping me talk through this. And of course, that nurse friend of mine, she was really a big supporter of me. She talked me through a lot of things, and you know, all the medics were telling me that the fact that this has been diagnosed at stage 1B, it was very treatable. I had nothing to worry about. I just had to go through the treatments that were there. Yes. Okay. And I remember back then, treatments in Eldoret, cancer treatments were not being offered in Eldoret. Mostly it was just diagnosis.
So where did you get treatment from?
When I was diagnosed, the doctor gave me options. He gave me the option of doing chemotherapy or radio, or coming for, and then for that chemo, the only place that was being done at was at KNH back then.
2015?
Yes. And another option was to go to, there was this place where a lot of cancer patients were going back then in Uganda, in Mulago. Okay. That's another option he gave me. And also to do hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is the removal of the uterus and the part of the cervix. Okay. So he told me, I remember him telling me that if I would opt to go to Kenyatta, then maybe I will get a chance, maybe in about 6 months' time. Because back then the lines were long.
I can imagine.
Yes, and I can remember his words. They told me, you know, cancer is very stupid. Now that we've caught it, it's going to spread.
It's like
yes, by the time now, yes, you are getting to the treatment, it's already another stage. So because by then I already had my 3 kids.
Okay.
I thought, okay, let's if hysterectomy will work for stage 1, then that is okay. So I went for that, and they did the procedure at MTRH.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's how your journey with the first time.
Yes, the first time.
The first time
Yes.
cancer.
So what happened is
and
just went for checkups and clinics for some bit of time, for some years. Then I was told, now I'm okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How was it with your husband and your family? Because you know, you had to remove your uterus, and I understand you said you had 3 kids, but was it an agreement that you both agreed on that it's okay? Was it hard?
Now this is what some of the challenges we face with cancer diagnosis. Some people will leave, some will stay. And I was one of the unlucky ones that my husband left. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
So, but I had a very strong support system from my family and from friends.
Wow.
They really rallied around me. Yes.
Wonderful. We celebrate them. So now, for someone who doesn't understand all the terminologies that you've used, you said you had the option of chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and the hysterectomy, right? So we understand hysterectomy, so what does chemo involve and what does radiotherapy involve?
Chemotherapy and radiotherapy are forms of treatment for cancer. And they're not the same for different kinds of cancers. Yes. Like for me, I had to do the IV. There are different forms. They can do IV. It can be administered by injection. It can be done by pills. It can be administered via pots. Sometimes you'll find that some cancer patients tend to have their veins collapsing, or they have to, there's some chemos that are given about more than 10 hours a day. So you'll find that the doctors have to put a pot. So utapata, they have a pot somewhere here. There's something here. So there are different methods of chemotherapy. So radiotherapy, it's the same. Radiotherapy is just the use of radiation to kill the cells. So it just also depends on which part of the body the cancer is. Like for the people with cervical cancer, it's around the abdomen, the pelvic area. For someone with cancer, maybe the throat and above, they'll do above here. For the breast cancer, they do around here.
Upper area.
Yes.
All right. Now, take us through your journey again. Now you're free from cancer, and then you're told that you have cancer again. How did you get to find out? Tell us about it.
Back in 2022, I started having some symptoms again, and that's why we say that cancer is a very weird disease. It mimics other diseases. So what happened first was that I would get pain in my back, around the upper back. So it will get really painful and all that, and everything I tried wouldn't work. So I went to see an orthopedic. I was put on physiotherapy and all that, and then it will subside. And then now the pain now went lower to my lower back.
Lower back.
Yes. And then it began radiating on my lower abdomen. Yes.
Right under your stomach.
Yes. You know, the pain that we undergo when you're having menses, that pain, but then
cramps.
It's so much. So that's when all my alarms went off. I just thought, no, something is not right here. And then so I said, I just told myself, okay, let me just go back to my oncologist at MTRH just to remove this doubt. Let them tell me that it's not their department, I go see someone else. So I went back to the oncologist. So they ordered MRIs to be done and CT scan. So when the MRIs came out, they found there were some tumors that were growing behind my left pelvic bone. That's where that's where they were. They're also like now. I think they were pressing on my sciatic nerve. So I would feel pain on my left leg. Yes,
Oh.
the way sciatic is. So they found 2 to 3 tumors growing there. So they ordered for a biopsy again, one of the most painful biopsies.
It was more painful than the first one.
Yes, because the method of getting now to that area, you can imagine, they cannot get from the front because of the pelvic bone here. So they had to go from behind.
Ow.
Yes, it was so painful to
Sorry.
get the sample. So it was taken to Lancet again. It came back as cancerous. And then I was diagnosed in October of 2022. And then from November, I started my treatment. I was put on a regimen of 25 sessions of radiotherapy and 8 sessions of chemotherapy, which I did. And I finished my last treatment in 2023, February.
Just last year.
Yeah?
Last year.
Yes, last year. February was the last chemo. In the month of June, I did a PET scan at KU, and they found I was clear again.
Wow.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So here I am today.
You defeated cancer.
Yes, for the second time.
Yes,
Yes.
you are indeed a champion, a
Thank
warrior, truly. Let me ask, just to take you back, you know, when you went for the second time, and you thought, let me just clear this doubt. You know, how was it for you? Were you worried when you're going to the oncologist? You know, what was going through you emotionally?
Yes, I was scared. That was the right word. I was scared. I was just asking God, let it not be what I'm thinking, what I'm imagining. Yes, so I was really worried, and I just wanted it to be something. I just wanted them to tell me no.
Anything else but
yes,
cancer.
just go to this other specialist. Yes.
Yeah.
But then now that's what happened. Yes.
What about now, after you were told that it's cancer? What did it do to you again? Was it the same feeling, the same experience as the last time? Was it different?
Let me tell you, the cancer diagnosis it's really, it affects you mentally. It affects you no matter the second time, the third time, or whatever. It really affected me. You know, I will just lock myself in the room and cry and ask God, why me? What did I do? You know, I'm thinking, what if this is it?
Yeah.
Who's going to watch over my children?
Being a single mom.
Yes. So it was really worrisome. But again, those friends and my family stood up again for me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
How did you, when we're talking about now the mental states and you overcoming that place that you are in, that dark place that you are in, how did you allow yourself to be helped? Because for some people going through the same thing, they keep to themselves,
Sure.
you know, because it's a hard time and you know, life is just unfair to you. So how did you handle that?
Sometimes I think it's a lot of, you will have won this fight about 60 and above % if you accept that it's here, and now let me face this thing head on. Because if you continue denying it, you know, I always say the mind is a very powerful thing. If you continue to deny it, that's what it will also do. So your body will not even accept all the positive things that are around you, all the treatments that are coming to you, all the support that people are giving you. You will not accept it if you block it out. And your body is going really to have a hard time, you know, getting better. Yes. Yeah. Once you win over your brain, and you just tell yourself, like, for us mothers, you're like, okay, I have to fight this. I have to do this.
For my kids.
For my kids, I have to do this. Let me just fight. Even if I go down, I'll have gone down fighting. But I have to give myself a fighting chance.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that. Yes. You know, 60% is your mentality and
Yes.
how you take it in. What was your worst day? You know, through that journey, if you can remember of a worst day that you had, what would it have been? What was it apart from the day that you got the news that you had cancer? Just going through the treatment and everything.
I think for me the worst day again was having to be told you have cancer the second time. Yes. And of course, going through the treatment, it is not easy. There are days you really just want to lie down and just not open your eyes ever again. It's really hard. Yes, there are some days it's so hard. You just tell God, okay, let me just close my eyes and just let me not wake up. Yes, but then your child comes in and checks in on you and say, okay,
Okay.
let me dust myself up. Let's continue doing this.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. What do you think about the state of the healthcare system in Kenya, especially when it comes to cancer?
Right now, I can't say it's wanting. There's a lot of gap. And as it is right now, cancer is really going to be the biggest killer if we continue the way we are. Because number one, the cancer facilities are not enough in Kenya. The cancer diagnosis is rising. If you keep on checking year after year, you will see an upward trend.
True.
So a lot of people are getting diagnosed every year, and they are not getting the support because the facilities are not there. I'll be at my teaching referral, and then kwa laini you find someone who's come as far as Kajiado.
All the way.
Yes. Like now you'll find MTRH will have to serve a lot of the western side of Kenya. Yes. Now KNH has to serve this other part. The facilities are not there.
They're not
It is not, yes. And as we are right now, even this issue of the health cover, the NHIF and everything, we are really struggling. Cancer patients are struggling right now because there's been an issue with NHIF, between NHIF and some hospitals. Some hospitals claim that they've not been paid by NHIF. So you take your patient to that hospital. That's where you've been taking that patient for treatment, and then now they tell you, we cannot serve you people because NHIF has not paid us. When you're in the middle of treatment, and that is something that is happening right now. I'm not talking about last year. It's
happening now.
Right now, yes. Those are the challenges that we are facing, and I don't know if they are going to pass SHIF as it is. But also in the cancer circles, we're still not happy with it. We are not agreeing with it.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Okay.
Yes.
How expensive is a cancer treatment without the cover?
It is. I think it's one of the most expensive treatments. You can sort after. So you can imagine if you don't have any medical cover. That's why Kenyans are selling their properties and lands left, right, and center. And the cancer circle, like every week, there's always a fundraiser for one thing or the other, for treatment, for whatever. Yes, because people cannot afford this, and they cannot afford, and they don't have a choice. They have to go to those NHIF accredited hospitals. And the NHIF accredited hospitals that offer cancer treatment, right? They'll go there, yes, but also the time it takes to get the services, that's another problem that we are facing.
Because there are long queues.
The queues, there are so many people and the facilities are not enough. You'll find for you to even just get a biopsy, maybe at a public hospital, to get a biopsy.
Just a biopsy to
test.
A biopsy?
I remember, because I was being, my oncologist is at Chandaria at my teaching. So when she sent me for biopsy, you have to go and book, right? I remember this last diagnosis, I was being given a date of a month to. Like today is the 29th, right?
Yeah.
I was getting a date of the next month, 29th. Yes. You can imagine how cancer is painful. I was in so much pain at that time. I was even on morphine, but I could walk. But there are some people who are so sick, they cannot walk, but they have to wait that long.
Wow.
Yes. So for me, like someone who's got another medical cover, I go to a private hospital. In 2 days' time, I get my biopsy.
Wow.
You are prescribed maybe your treatment, chemo or radio. I remember when the doctor prescribed the treatment, she was not sure when I was going to start my radiotherapy at the public hospital.
Wow.
Yes. It's a big referral hospital, but with only one radiotherapy machine.
And
How many people it serves?
many people
Yes.
being diagnosed
Yes.
every
Now,
day.
because I have a cover, I go to a private facility where the process starts almost immediately. So we are really in trouble.
There's a gap.
There's a gap.
So if you don't have money and you have cancer, then you're almost sentenced to death, and it's something that you can be treated of.
Yes, it's something that you even should get those services. Because now, as a breadwinner, you sell everything. And God forbid, you lose the battle. Your family now are left paupers. And that should not be the case. It should not be the case.
So if you were to say something to those in authority, then what would you want them to address specifically?
They should address the number of facilities that take care of, let's not even say, not cancer alone, but chronic diseases. Yes. The number of facilities should be adequate in all regions. You know, they should be in all regions. And then they should be staffed with the right number of medics. They should have the right equipment. And then they should work out a way that the health system in Kenya works for us. It's not us working for it. If I can calculate the number of years I have contributed to NHIF, and then when I'm sick now, NHIF cannot help me. It makes no sense at all. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you talking to, the ladies, especially because I understand that breast cancer and cervical cancer are some of the mostly diagnosed diseases.
Yes.
Cancer type of cancer that is being diagnosed currently. How do you advise them in terms of going for screening, and in case of symptoms such as the ones that you had, Yeah.
What I would say is that let's learn to be very sensitive to our bodies, listen to our bodies. For women, I always tell people, back then when you used to get pap smears, that thing was it was horror. The equipment, I always equate those equipment back then to that Kiagari.
Not good. Definitely not good.
Right now, they have upgraded. The equipment for pap smear now they're very women friendly, and that procedure takes less than 5 minutes. You are done, and it saves you a lifetime. And it's not something you have to go every year. You can do it once in 2 years, once in 3 years. Just get the pap smear done.
Okay.
It's very simple. It will save you a lot.
Yeah.
For breast cancer, women, let's not, mimi usema, wacha kwenda kupiga shawa ni kama unakimbizwa. Take time, imba chorus moja.
To show.
Feel your breast. If there's something weird, see your doctor immediately. If we learn to be sensitive to what's going on, to anything strange in your body, it's going to save you a lot. Yes. And don't feel ashamed to confide in people that you trust, that you feel this or this and this is going on. you know, saa zingine unasema you need morali for that's what's going on, you're bleeding, kesho nakupeleka kwa doc twende. Yes, so it really helps.
Okay.
Yes,
wonderful. Just before we finish, or as we finish, what would you say to someone who's going through cancer, who has cancer and doesn't have the support system, not because of choice, but you know, just because people do not want to be associated with the burden. You know, some people see it as burdensome because of maybe the financial investment that goes in and everything else, and they feel alone, and that state where they have given up in life. What would you say to them?
I will tell them that that is not the right way to go. That is not the right way to face cancer. Cancer is a disease that really needs people around you. You cannot handle it. Si kama malaria, you just go sleep, siku tatu, you're good. You need the support. And I understand, and this is something that we've noticed, especially there's some cancers that people withdraw, and number one reason of why people withdraw is the stigma that comes with it. Women with cervical cancer, I have witnessed women that even their husbands don't know what's going on.
Wow. Because
they'll feel like they're going to be accused of bringing this disease. Huh? It's like, wewe ndio umeleta hiyo ugonjwa hapa. You get? So some women ananyamaza. They go through that treatment alone. They don't, even the family members are not aware. Same with men, prostate cancer. Men will not talk. They will go through that pain. They will not tell anyone. And this other cancer, colorectal cancer, especially among the young men. You know, the men that are mostly from the gay community, the men will not talk. Okay. They will just withdraw. I've seen this young man, a young man of about 20-something year old, going through this journey alone. They just go to the hospital, get the treatment, retreat back to the house.
No one knows.
Yes, and cancer, the side effects you get from treatment are very harsh. If you don't have someone to keep pushing you, si ukunywe kwa supu, si just take uji, even mentally, if you're alone, it's going to be hard on you. So okay, sometimes you cannot force someone to be there, to tell like their family members. You cannot force them to do that. But what I want to tell the cancer fighters out there, that as a cancer family, we are large. There are so many cancer support groups out there that you can go sit with people that are going through the same cancer as you, and you can talk to them. You know, when I sit with you and we've gone to, maybe I've gone through it before, and I tell you, if you tell me this is what I'm feeling, and then I tell you this is what I used to do, or you know, when you go home, you feel much better
because someone understands.
Yes. So I'll advise those people who cannot maybe talk to close family members or anyone, look for those support groups. The support groups are going to help you a lot. Okay. Yes, you just talk. You know, talking to strangers sometimes is easier.
Yeah. Yes, you know, you just pour out your heart and
tell them what's going on with you, what's going on with your treatment, how you are mentally, how you are physically, and that's how you get help. That's how you will get people to check on you. Sometimes kama hujaonekana 1 week, someone, let me tell you, it's so good when someone checks on you. When you are sleeping there, and someone was just checking up on you, are you okay? What can I do for you today? That goes a long way in this cancer battle.
Journey.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. You've just reminded me of something. You know, some people, because I know a friend who had a chronic illness. May her soul rest in peace. But you know, some people usually tell them, you know, you are strong, keep on being strong. And sometimes they're tired, you know, you're tired of being told you're strong, you know, be strong. So how do you tell the support group or someone who's there supporting them to be there for them and not feel like this is a cliche thing? It's a cliche thing to say, you know, you are strong, you know, I don't know any person as strong as you. Some people feel like it's cliche to some point.
It is.
So how, okay. So tell us, how can you be of support to someone going through something, not just cancer, but any other chronic illness?
Yes, as you said, it's a cliche. And let me tell you, when you are down, you are so weak, you're feeling so sick, you're feeling helpless, those words don't do much. Telling me I'm strong. I'm not strong at that point. I'm not. What I need is your shoulder to lean on. I'm not strong. So when people keep telling us you're strong, it really does not help. It does not help, especially for a person who's, you know, ako katikati ya hiyo maumivu and everything.
Yeah.
No, what they want is that shoulder of yours to cry on. What we want is that ear of yours. Let me just vent. Let me vent, niseme what I am feeling, as long as you don't reduce my experience, right? When I'm telling you what I'm going through, usiweze kuniambia story hata cousin yangu alifanya.
Well, that's reducing your experience.
Don't do that. Don't tell me hata wewe sijui unaumwa. Let me talk so that you really understand. Sometimes you may not really understand because you've not gone through it, but if you just sit there and listen. And Mimi, I tell people, I don't know if it's from my own experience, these words, what can I do for you? Those words just melt us.
Oh.
And those, if they're really sincere, those words go a long way. Now you'll get to understand what I really need.
Okay.
Do I need someone to come and just help me clean the house? Do I need someone to just be picking my baby from school? Do I need someone to just be dropping me for my treatment? That goes a long way.
Wow.
Let the person know that you are there. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that's the best way to
Yes.
best place to end it. Where can people find you on social media, and in your own capacity, maybe you can tell them what you do and in supporting other cancer patients that are going through this journey that you went through. And even as you do that, does it heal a part of you when you know you're helping someone else in this journey, as you give us your handles?
Yeah, the fact that I'm here today is not something I take for granted. And the fact that, I can hold someone else's hand and someone will come back and tell me, you really helped me that time. What you told me, how you walked with me at that time, it really meant so much to me. That really makes me feel like my life has purpose. Yes. And I sometimes tell God, okay, maybe this is the purpose that you wanted me to fulfill. That people can see that cancer is treatable. Not many people believe. Mimi watu wakiniona, they don't believe that I've gone through cancer. So I tell people, look at me. And there was a time someone had to hold me to take me to the loo. Wow. Someone had to hold me to get me into the car to go to the hospital. I couldn't do it, but here I am today. So the fact that I can do that for someone else, because someone else also supported me, the fact that I can also support someone else, it really makes me feel really good about myself. Yes.
Wow, wonderful. Yes. Keep on doing that.
Thank you.
You're really inspiring, changing lives out there, and as human beings, we live by hope.
Sure.
And we need that. It fuels us to look forward to the next day and to brighter things, because cancer is treatable. Cancer can be healed, and you're a testament of that. Where can people find you on your socials?
I'm found on TikTok. My handles are at Chemwor Maria. On Facebook, it's Chemwor Marie. On Twitter, you will find at Shiro, SHEERO.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Once
so much.
again, we appreciate you, and for you to open up and tell us your story and to encourage someone else, we truly appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
I'm happy.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us. This has been My Health Beat. Do you have a story that you want to share with us? Then contact us at myhealthbeatke@gmail.com. And they're just scrolling down here, as well as our social media handles. It's always a pleasure that you tune in to hear this conversation, and it is with the hope that you are revived, that you are encouraged, and that you have enjoyed this conversation. My name is Stephanie Ayeta. See you next time.